this messy bed ain't a crime. Eating chips and candy ain't no waste of time. Pillows got crumbs and the blankets tangled so tight. Tossing in the sheets, feeling alright. It's junk food heaven in my pillow fort. Bed rotting ain't no Olympic sport. Let the world spin around outside. In my mess, I will take pride.
You know that old saying your parents used to mention when you were being lazy?
Back in my day, we were up at 3 a.m. I walked 12 miles to school and another 12 to work. And all these kids do is rot in bed.
And you felt, just a tiny bit of shame. Well, now, rotting in your bed is one of the biggest trends, mostly among Gen Z, some millennials, I see some of you doing this, who are doing the bed rotting. How the bed rotting girlies look at us when we say someone wet the bed, but we slept in it anyways.
Oh, you nasty.
Hi guys, welcome back to the channel where I accumulate things I see on the internet for your enjoyment while my brain dies and rots away. And you guys compensate me by screaming, "Get off your butt cheeks," in the comment section. All caps, please. Let them really hear you. To be honest, it helps me trick the algorithm because I don't know what the hell I'm doing. If you think about it, it's a great transaction. I rot my brain. You guys have a 20-minute video where you aren't scrolling through TikTok where you can rot your brain. Let's just make one person have the brain rot, okay? You can save your brain and your body. Bed rotting, the new TikTok trend. The bed rot trend on TikTok essentially involves intentionally staying in bed for extended periods, often doing passive activities like scrolling through social media, watching videos, or texting. Essentially using your bed as a space to relax and recharge without necessarily sleeping, but with the rule that you should not get out of bed to do anything else during the time. It's considered a form of self-care. And it's supposed to improve your mental health. But as I went through the bed rot trend, it seemed like most of these people are just on the verge of depression.
Sometimes I just be waking up and I could rot in bed all day. Like, there's nothing that is gonna get me out of bed.
I went down the hashtag bed rotting and there's people whose house looks like they should be on TLC Hoarders with a bunch of camera people and producers trying to help. When people say bed rotting is a trend, but this is how it can look. This is not normal, right? This person probably has a lot of problems and I can't believe that people are making this a trend to stay in bed, pee in it, and then sleep in it, and then eat a lot.
What are you good at?
I like eating and sleeping.
Okay, and what are you not good at?
Everything.
Wouldn't that just depress you? Like if you were to just sit in bed in a secluded area, most of these people have the curtains like shut on them and you only get up to get more food and you scroll through TikTok. Me rotting in bed constantly thinking about what to eat next. That's all bed rotters live for. Food and their bed. They are hibernating and our species does not hibernate. That's not what we're supposed to do. We are not bears. We are not Winnie the Pooh.
Oh, bother.
People are doing this trend so much that they're staying in bed for so long that they are getting bruises and hurting themselves from laying on their butt cheeks too long. Point of view, bed rotting, but making sure to turn myself to refrain from getting stage 3 bed sores.
Really?
You know who else gets hurt from laying in bed for too long? My 600-pound life. Let me repeat that. My 600-pound life. Why would you want this to be your trend? I don't get it. Why hasn't there ever been a trend on TikTok to like, I don't know, eat an apple a day, go for a walk a day? I see them on TikTok, but they're never trending. Like the 10,000 step challenge, like that got blown up, kicked to the side, thrown into dirt and covered, then sat on. And then someone farted on it and said that's fat phobic and unrealistic. Yeah, if you're a bed rotting influencer, me when my bed gives me bi-weekly bruises.
Man, I just found this shit fun, man. I understand it's like positive no fucking good, man.
All right, I don't know what she's even mouthing. I understood not one word, but I think, and I think you guys will agree, that she should get up, turn off social media, do some yoga, drink some water, go for a walk, and get some sunshine. Because I don't see this getting any better if she continues to hashtag the word bed rot. A lot of these bed rotters are extremely young too, and they're getting sores on their body like the elderly do who have no choice but to lay in bed.
Guys, I think I'm bed rotting a little too hard. I think I got bed sores on my fucking hips.
Gross. Accidentally mushroom bruised myself in the face by just leaning on my hand on my cheek. Hashtag bed rotting. I don't know about you, but I don't find it quirky to just lay in bed and rot and scroll on social media all day. It's kind of sad and I feel like you need to contact some type of therapist. I heard plankton's pretty cheap.
Let's unload all that harmful information in your little yellow head.
Can my fellow bed rot girlies tell me how to not have pain? My hips and bum have been sore, even though I move in bed like a rotisserie chicken. You just get your ass up. Point of view, bed rotting, but turning myself every 2 hours so I don't develop a decubitus ulcer. An ulcer?
I love rotting, and I'm so good at it. Like, look at me in bed with a sweatshirt, leggings, my fuzzy blanket, my dog behind me also underneath a fuzzy blanket. I love rotting.
Same Z's. I wish bed rotting was a full-time paid job. So there are people on TikTok that are rotting so hard that their cups of drink, whatever they're drinking, is molding and has silverfish running around the floor and running into bed with them to bed rot, you know, as a team.
You can see this person right here on TikTok who made a video about their trend. They have cups laying around their room just filled with mold because they're just bed rotting. All of these cups, Chick-fil-A containers, all of this stuff has just been piling up because all they do is lay in their bed all day.
So a lot of people are coming out who actually struggle with feeling extremely deep in the dark and constantly getting pulled into that dark space. And they're saying this isn't a trend you guys want to do, as it's extremely easy to get pulled in and rot your life away in bed. I got blood clots because of, in quotes, bed rotting due to grief and depression. So perfect, highly recommend. So yeah, that doesn't seem fun. It sounds painful. When I sit too long, I get so, like, my butt just hurts. In fact, I got a herniated disc from sitting too long. I can't imagine trying to make it the next quirky thing and then continue to sit and then TikToking about it. But in the world of TikTok, bed rotting is the super quirky thing that a lot of the younger people are doing, and now you can be a bed rot influencer. You're not sad, you just need to bed rot and eat snackies with your girly pop. I felt worse after, send help. Yeah. You know why? Because laying in bed for hours on end and eating snackies like bags of chips and a heaping scoop of whipped cream and the teeniest, tiniest bits of strawberries I've ever seen will increase the feelings of sadness. If you didn't know, fun fact, junk food increases your chances of depression, or at least your feeling, and staying in bed can increase the feelings of depression as well.
A new study suggests eating junk food actually raises the risk of depression. A study in molecular psychiatry looked at 41 previous studies, and researchers found that foods containing a lot of fat or sugar or were processed led to inflammation. The study said chronic inflammation can negatively affect brain chemistry. It could also impact neurotransmitters responsible for mood.
Especially if you're just in a dark room watching TikTok. I've seen what's on there if you keep watching sad things. It'll just give you more sad things. And that's the trend, to just scroll through TikTok and watch things that will cause depression. How do I know this? Because the bed rot influencers have to tell people just getting into bed rotting to not watch the things that makes them sad.
This is how you successfully bed rot without feeling bad about yourself. The key to not feeling gross while bed rotting is to get up and get ready first.
To put it in simple terms, wash your ass. You know, it's a little sad to tell 20-somethings to go make sure your butt doesn't stink.
Sorry. Does that guy ever take a shower? Man, I got secondhand stink.
You know, I get it if you are depressed, sometimes you need that reminder. But a lot of people who are saying bed rotting, really, who are depressed, they know they have to get up and make the day happen. Otherwise, they'll sink really further. And they tend to have a routine, and it's not laying in bed. Part of their therapy is to get up.
Finding a routine. So this is just something to help bring in some structure and stability and reliability.
If you're chronically depressed like I am and you struggle to get out of your funk every morning when you wake up, this video is for you. We're gonna get out of our funk together. Step 1, get out of bed.
But getting out of bed is the hardest part.
Okay, look, for the people who can't get in a routine because they can't get out of bed, look what I found.
But she said her therapist told her that when she is depressed and cannot get out of bed, that she should flop around like a fish.
All right, well, I just woke up from a nap. I don't have my water like I normally have next to me, so let's try out the floppy fish method. Well, for me, I personally prefer the water method more. Wakes me up just fine. But as you can see, I am up. Definitely 100 times better than laying there, scrolling through TikTok, knee deep in your 5th bag of Doritos, wallowing in your own stink. Because who would have guessed that rotting in your own filth is kind of upsetting and gross and smelly?
Okay, quick PSA to all of my rotters. I also love to rot, but I was just thinking, how about you rot on the treadmill? How about you rot with a book in your hand?
I love the tips, but that's not really rotting, right? That's being productive. If this is rotting, I am a rotter. I am part of the crew. Are you a fellow bed rotter? Is your cheek glued to your cell phone screen from a chewed up wad of gum that you ate last week? Well, do I have some tips for you to not do that anymore? My #1 rule for social media is I am not allowed to scroll, and this is my job. But I will let myself scroll if I'm doing something productive, like stretching. I have to be doing something extremely productive while I'm doing something that's not productive. If I am working and trying to do a topic on, social media things, I will get minimum 10,000 steps, sometimes up to 20,000, a little bit over if I'm really getting a lot of clips from social media. All because I am making sure to be glued on my phone while moving my legs. I'm only really allowed to scroll on this, while my legs are moving. Garrett, get the legs. See, they're not moving fast, but they're still moving while I'm doing something very unproductive like scrolling. Well, in my case, it's my job. But it's still scrolling and rotting my brain, but also getting a little movement going. I see quite a bit of people when I talk about weight loss or being productive. I hear people say, well, I can't because I'm depressed. And then they quickly whip out their phone that's probably glued to their butt cheek and call me privileged because I go for a walk. There, that makes me feel great. As they down their second bag of hot Cheetos. So one of my favorite types of bed rotters are the aesthetic bed rotters. Ask me if I want a bed rot with blankets and comfy clothes. Always, yes. And they're always just the cutest little things with the perfect hair, makeup, they look extremely clean. I think she has lip gloss on. Like if I were to bed rot with anyone, because it seems like a group activity, it would be with the aesthetic bed rotter. Not the ones that have silverfish running between their toes while they're trying to sleep in filth and mold in their hair. This chick's just bouncing on her bed, having a good old time. She looks like she's doing great. Me after bed rotting in bed all day. So the people who have harvested mold in their hair and probably their butt cheeks actually got up. They ascended from their moldy bed and they wallowed.
You're not a real bed rotter.
Only for about 3 seconds though, but hey, they got up. I don't want this to be a completely negative video that I am just shitting on this really stupid trend, to be completely honest, but there are people who try to fight depression or have other forms of mental health issues where it's just the hardest thing for them to get up because they went through something traumatic and they think they have nothing else to live for, or just the people that love laying in bed. They're giving a lot of useful tips to these people so they can fight that feeling of their bed literally calling them. Addiction! Yes, instead of telling people to lay in bed, turn on Netflix, binge watch TV, and binge watch anything that you want to eat and stay in bed forever, because copious amounts of junk food will make you feel so dandy. Update, turns out that going outside, eating healthy food, reducing your screen time, prioritizing sleeping, and moving your body actually makes you feel better, and you don't even have to do it excessively. Like, just a little here and there. Feels better than just completely neglecting your body. Well, who would have thought? You guys don't have to sink so far into your bed. I literally saw Squidward when he was taking advantage of SpongeBob and said, I want that. Here you go, Your Majesty. So that boy I talked about in the beginning, he was actually giving bed rotters a lot of advice, like a hack on how to get out of bed abruptly, because if you remember, he said,
sometimes I just be waking up and I could rot in bed all day.
Let's see what he has to say.
Yesterday I was like, why don't I want to go to the gym? Like I really need to get my ass up and go to the gym, but I couldn't get myself to get there. But today, I was like, we're gonna try it. I kid you not, first thing when you get out of bed, go take a shower, and at the end, sit in freezing cold water for like 20 seconds.
Okay, well that sounds horrible. I will do just about anything than that, but I don't have a problem with getting it. If it worked, why not? But this is what I have a problem with the people who shout out privilege or, I want to change but I won't, or like I want to, improve my life, but like I can't get up. Many people online will give these people tips on how to get up and what worked for them, but then some of the comments are just, let me just read it for you. Okay, but the problem is just getting up. Lost me at getting out of bed. Okay, then why are you here in a TikTok video that tells you how to get out of bed? I know many people are saying, you don't understand, Michelle, depression, health, mental health. I don't personally really like talking about my mental health issues, diagnosis, or whatever because it's the internet, and I feel like the internet will literally give you any kind of excuse to just go deeper and deeper and deeper. Look at fat acceptance. They give people who have my problem of binge eating disorder to just let it go. Let it suck you in, live in the bag of hot Cheetos. But after Yoshi passed away, I felt like I was getting sucked, pulled into, thrown into the darkness. Death is like my struggle, it's my trigger. I hate saying goodbyes, and like I had so many deaths this year. Like every year it's just like a handful or maybe 2 or 3 people pass away, and every single time it hits me hard. I get stressed, I get nauseous, I'm not hungry, or the only thing I want to eat are cookies. You guys, the amount of neck pain from just being stressed, apparently I sleep like this. And for a while, I was just laying there, contorted, hurting my neck even more, looking stupid, feeling like nothing was worth it. And that's extremely sad to say, right? To even think that there's nothing worth it anymore when someone passes away. Not to say I don't love Yoshi, but to say that over someone else, especially my dog who has lived a full and very, very happy life, and it was time to say goodbye. Absolutely not. We do not do that. And I have to constantly tell myself, absolutely not. We do not bed rot. Why is everyone quiet? Go ahead. Say it with me now while I give you some tips to get off your ass. So waking up in the morning after I was just freshly upset and everything, there is nothing more that I would want to do still, honestly, than to wake up and just lay there and rot, except live my life. I want to live! So something that I started doing is, so every night before I go to bed, I like to prepare. I get this cup and fill it with 12 ounces of water right before bed and place it on my nightstand. Because that gives me some type of task when I wake up. I drink water. And you know what? I've gotten so good at drinking water. I chug it and I feel great. It wakes my body up. I'm hydrated after being dehydrated all night. And what makes you tired and slow? Dehydration. Tip number 2, I place my clothes, my socks, my shoes right at the bottom of my bed, so when I get up, my second task is what? Get appropriate. Tip 3. Why is your phone in your bed, huh? All it's gonna do is influence you to scroll and be lazy and sad and depressed right when you wake up. Do you know how many dog died videos came up right after Yoshi's death? And I was watching it, and what was I doing? Sinking into the deep pit of darkness. So I had to stop myself from doing that, because what is it gonna do? Oh, Yoshi, why'd you have to go? So I keep my phone downstairs in a drawer. There is absolutely no use for it in my room when I'm trying to sleep. And if you're super addicted to it, guess what? Your feet are going to quickly jump out of bed to your phone that's not in your room, and look at that, you're up. Half tip, do you have dogs? You're gonna have to take them outside. Look at their little face. They don't need to bed rot. They're not meant to bed rot. They need their little exercises. I would say you don't want them to pee in your bed, but if you are an experienced bed rotter, that doesn't matter to you. So think of the dogs. They need their exercise too. Speaking of exercise, move your body. You're already up, you got your shoes on, clothes on, do some type of anything. And lastly, among stretching, go to Walmart and get a lacrosse ball and massage your ass.
Bob, are you okay? Your buttocks look stressed, like they have a test tomorrow.
So those are a few things to get me out of bed and not falling into the pit of my life sucks. I have nothing to live for except for a bag of hot Cheetos, and once these are gone, so will I. And I really hope you guys try this, because this bed rotting trend is something that definitely needs to be canceled. But you guys, thank you for showing up, especially if you got to the end. Can you guys scream, get your booty cheeks off the floor, and then give it a little slap. Look at you, you're up. Now take another step, and you'll be just fine. I will see you guys next video, and you're gonna be off your butt cheeks.
Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up, pick it up.
Got it?
Yep. It's still filming.
You see the drippy, I'm fitted up. Hop in my car and the giddy up. Secure the bag, yeah, I get the bus. Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up. You see the drippy, I'm fitted up. Hop in my car and the giddy up. Secure the bag, yeah, I get the bus. Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up, pick it up. Ooh, I've been on the flex since flex on.